Evening folks, in this video we're continuing to put together a studio system from scratch. I'm looking for a pen or something. There we go. So that's the MacBook Air which we're setting up. I've got a MIDI controller, well, the VC340 from Behringer. That's going to be my MIDI controller tonight because it's just there. Got an empty track, so it's all set up. So I'll do a demo of just a few of the sounds from these plugins. Money spent $0 so far. So everything I'm showing you today can be downloaded for free, although, you know, where there's an option to put a donation, like for the Mac Title products, I would recommend that, you know, because, you know, these developers need to feed their families, right? Right, without further ado, let's just go through a quick list of some of the sort of the developers that I'll be looking at for this system. Alrighty, so these are some of the developers and sort of instruments I'll be looking at, which we don't really have to pay any money for. Surge XT, latest version, it's a no-brainer. It is a flipping brilliant synth. There are versions for both Windows and Mac, and it's probably a Linux version as well. And I believe you can get involved in the development of this if that's your sort of cup of tea. So that's Surge. That's probably, I would say, is a must. This is Surge. Surge is great. That's one of the pads called Bird, and it's just there's leads, basses, plucks, polysynths. Surge it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. If you for a system from scratch, you want Surge in there. Next on the list is two synths from Mac Title. So we've got Helm, which is a great little synth. And then after that, making Helm, he made Vital, which is, you know, a really impressive plugin. Vital's as good as Pigments in many ways. And there's obviously there's a basic package you can get, great, but there's also, you know, pluses and pros and subscriptions which give you all sorts of extra bells and whistles. But yeah, definitely worth having a look at. Vital, wavetable synth from Mac Title, is also probably a no-brainer. However, I very much like the VST he did before he made Vital, called Helm. I've dialed up one of the pads again for this. Lovely. That's a lo-fi soft pad. No messing around with any additional effects or anything. It's just one of the presets. But again, Helm has got basses, leads, percussion, patches. You know, it's got everything you'll need. So that's Helm. Let's also have a look at Vital. Okay, this is Drowning Machine preset on Vital. It's great. That's Complex Electro one. And that's the thing with Vital, it's almost too much sometimes. But again, that's loaded up with all kinds of leads, basses, pads, complex, weird moving patches. Again, bit of a no-brainer. You will have to log in to sort of register and log in to download the patches, essentially. Uhi have some flipping great products that you can obviously, you know, pay money for, but in terms of their freebies, Zebralette, we're going to be taking a look at that. Never looked at this Podolsky, never looked at that, but that's there for anyone. Obviously Linux, Windows, Mac, and Triple Cheese, which is a lovely little light synth, which I think is great. Uhi is the next developer to look at. This is Zebralette, lovely little synth. Not sure what key I was in then, but there we go. Zebralette sounds great. And while we're in Uhu territory, this is Triple Cheese, another lovely little synth. Here's a bass patch. Oh, nice bit of pitch wobble there. Lovely stuff. So yeah, that's Triple Cheese. Small, light. Now Zebralette, when I downloaded that also came loaded with looked like a full version of Zebra 2, which is one of their more sort of flagshipy synths, which you'd need to register and you know and pay money for that, which you know you can do if you want, that's fine. But Zebralette is a freebie. And then finally today we're going to be looking at Full Bucket Music. Now they've got to look at this. They've got a bunch of stuff. Absolutely. I mean, you could put together a system based on purely this one developer, right? And just have massive sonic palette. My sort of, I don't know, favorite, but my call here would be Oxid, which is a kind of an ARP simulation, which is a kind of string machine kind of deal. Lovely sort of Pink Floyd, Jean-Michel Jarre-esque sounds. So Full Bucket Music, that has a bunch of like super interesting things, but fans of Jean-Michel Jarre have to get Oxid. This sounds flippin' brilliant. I'm thinking also Pink Floyd, Jean-Michel Jarre. And again, just the patch as it's coming out. Now, if I add some reverb to that, which admittedly this is a paid reverb, but it's a reverb I already had sort of paid for. It's beautiful. call a video a day for this one. So today we just looked at some free soft synths you can get if you're building a system from scratch. Next video we'll look at some drums stroke percussion that we can get, and again we're going to try and spend $0, and then we'll maybe think about some sample instruments we can have a look at. So that would be good for things like your pianos, your choirs, your woodwinds, your guitars, that kind of thing. Last night I was just messing around. I mean, I wasn't in front of a keyboard, I was just sort of messing around with some MIDI, but this is potentially the start of a track using simply all these, these various softwares that we've been just looking at in this video. That's Helm. That's Oxid. That's Vital. And that's Surge, giving us a little bit of basic percussion. And obviously, if you're just putting together you want a bare sort of a really basic system for just doing like a podcast intro, loads of sonic possibilities there. Loads and loads and loads. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Ta-ra, folks. Take care. Bye, 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 bye.